The Odyssey is an absolutely terrible movie for anyone who cares even remotely about accurately portraying Greek mythology. But if you're someone who's invested in Christopher Nolan's storytelling and you're invested in the idea of the themes that he's been slowly painting across multiple movies, The Odyssey is an absolutely amazing experience. I do think that some of you guys are now starting to get a bit too distracted by the idea of accuracy when it comes to critiquing The Odyssey. Yes, the movie does have many inaccuracies when compared to other adaptations of Homer's Odyssey, but I think it's really important that we actually think about and talk about the messages that Christopher Nolan is actually trying to put across in this movie, and why the messages that he's trying to put across kind of rely on the change to the plot that he's made. Spoilers for The Odyssey now, because I'm going to talk about the Cyclops scene. So if you haven't seen the movie yet, save this video for later. So I've noticed that a lot of people are very disappointed in the Cyclops scene because it doesn't really show Odysseus' cunning or his wit or his wisdom in the same way that the original stories do. In the original Homer's Odyssey, after Odysseus has blinded the Cyclops, he tells the Cyclops that his name is nobody. That way that when the Cyclops goes to tell the other Cyclops what happened to him, he just says that nobody hurt me. And I get it. By omitting scenes like that, you are no longer showing Odysseus as this wise and cunning and intelligent warrior in the same way. But to that I'd say, yeah, that's kind of the point of what Christopher Nolan is trying to do in this movie. See, most of the times that the Cyclops is portrayed as a very malevolent kind of entity. The Cyclops is very aware of what they're doing. They're very intelligent and they're very into the idea of hurting these soldiers.
Do not eat one another. Cyclops do.
The Cyclops in Nolan's Odyssey, though, is very different. The Cyclops in Nolan's Odyssey, I'd almost compare more to being someone who's quite animalistic in what they're doing. Like, I'm gonna be real, like, after they blinded the Cyclops in this movie, and that scream that comes out, everyone talking about that crazy scream that comes from the Cyclops, I low-key felt sorry for the guy. Nolan's Odyssey, the Cyclops encounter has nothing to do with portraying Odysseus as intelligent or cunning. That scene exists to portray Odysseus as a very dishonorable man, at least dishonorable in comparison to how he was before. So yes, portraying the Cyclops as more of a wounded animal than a malevolent entity is very useful, and very useful for what Nolan is trying to say with this scene. And instead of the whole nobody trick, the very important interaction that Odysseus has with the Cyclops in this movie is that after he's escaped, he turns around to shoot it once again. Keeping in mind, by the way, that earlier on in the movie we've been shown that Odysseus loves to have a fair fight. Yet this time he has shot this blind Cyclops with no sound warning like he would usually do. This movie is trying to emphasize, Nolan is trying to emphasize that Odysseus has completely lost his way and that he is not honorable at all. That's what this Cyclops scene is about. Nolan doesn't let Odysseus defeat the Cyclops with intelligence because that's not the character trait that Nolan is trying to build up here. Again, if we compare this version of Odysseus to other versions of Odysseus, usually we see Odysseus and Athena having a very close relationship. You know, Athena really respects and appreciates Odysseus' wisdom and his intelligence. But when it comes to the Odyssey, Nolan's Odyssey, the difference is that Athena is actively disappointed in Odysseus. She's disappointed that yes, Odysseus is a very wise and intelligent man, but he's not using his wisdom and his intelligence honorably.
I was rooting for you. We were all rooting for you.
In the Odyssey, Athena doesn't respect Odysseus. That's not their relationship. In the Odyssey, Athena is disappointed in Odysseus. Now, would I have enjoyed a more historically accurate Odyssey movie? Yeah, I would. I'd still love to see something like that. But am I disappointed with the story that Christopher Nolan told with his version of the Odyssey? No, I'm not at all. And I think something that's very interesting as well of how Nolan decided to start this movie is that he starts this movie with, trigger warning, a bard played by, I don't know why it had to be Travis Scott. I know he wanted a rapper, I just wish the rapper wasn't Travis Scott. Anyway, he starts the movie with a story from a bard. Now, in the Greek times, in ancient Greece, you would have had many of these stories being spread by various bards and various poets. And the thing is that every time they told these stories, they would be slightly different. They would be having slightly different interpretations and they would be having slightly different morals of the story. So Christopher Nolan started this movie with the story of Troy being told by the bard is him saying to you that, hey, we're going to interpret things a little bit differently here. And that's okay. That's what makes Greek mythology so interesting. And look, if you guys still really need an accurate adaptation of the Odyssey, we still have the SpongeBob movie, I guess.